Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of A Week in Geekdom. I'm your host, Giovanni Menendez, and yes, after a long, strange, and utterly weird hiatus, here we are, back again for you guys, and really, one of our last shows of 2014, so let's go ahead and start this whole thing.
The views and opinions of this podcast do not represent official sources.
Because of the extreme amount of bass, listeners' discretion is advised.
This show has been brought to you in part by Two Black Labs Audio. You are listening to A Week in Geekdom.
Welcome back, folks. As always, you can tune in, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter at A Week in Geekdom. You can favorite our pictures on Instagram. Just like, subscribe, and watch the heck out of our videos here on youtube.com/A Week in Geekdom. So thank you guys once again. We've been away for 2-3 weeks or something. Our last episode was back in October. We filled the gap a little bit in November, but yes, here we are, the last month of the year. Happy holidays for everybody tuning in, and I think if this is one of our last shows of the year, next year we bring in a whole new A Week in Geekdom, a whole bunch of cool ideas for you guys that I hope you will enjoy. And as of this format, I think this will be one of the last episodes. I hope you guys like it. As for what's been happening, not a whole lot actually. I've been away for the most of it. I took a Thanksgiving break, and then I realized I had some stuff that I had to deal with, so I took another week off. And then last week, I think, last week, I simply could not. Just the timing was off to record anything. But here we are. We're committed as always. We're here to bring you all the opinions about stuff that shouldn't really matter, but they do. So, first and foremost, I have a lot. And by a lot, I mean a whole stack of things I will recommend for you guys this Christmas, and for stuff you should watch, read, or play with. As even toys. But yes, I will talk about it a little bit later. Here's a small glimpse. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to recommend. But speaking of things that's been going on in the geeky world that we know and love, I've not read a lot of comic books. I've mostly been reading and picking up older material from DC and Marvel, as well as Image and all that stuff. Let's just say that our shop, due to some technical hiccups, I'm not too sure what the hell happened, but we're like 2 or 3 weeks late in stuff, and I have not read anything since the month of October. I am sorry, I'm not going to talk about anything comic book related, because frankly, I would just be talking out of my ass. I don't know what's been going on. I will not talk about comic books for the rest of the year. Next, when we bring our next season, I will go in depth with everything comic booky. But as of now, I'm going to talk to you guys about the recent superhero-ness craze in televisions across America. Folks, if you have not watched it by now, please go ahead and do so. Watch the hell out of Constantine. Let's save the show. It deserves a second season. It is an amazing show. Well acted. The effects are actually really awesome. And even the story, it's not, let's just say it's not like full-on Hellblazer with all its matureness, but it's still pretty damn good. And I just love seeing Constantine on the TV screen along with his cast of misfits. But if you want to watch something, and I know people are just all caught up in the whole Flash, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that nonsense. If you want to watch something that's really awesome, go ahead and watch Constantine. Help us save the show with the hashtags, with the promotions. Stream it, DVR it. I really want to see a second season out of Constantine, and I think you should support it after watching a few episodes. There have been a few hiccups here and there, but overall, the series has been good. through and through, folks. And I just hope with this 13 episode first season, we can later expand on the second season and bring in all these crazy elements from the magical side of the DC world. I am so looking forward to that. But until then, keep watching season 1. I'm certainly doing so. And yeah, let's do this. Other than Constantine, man, did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a turnabout. Just the fact that we finally had our first Inhuman character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's just mind-blowing. Of course, spoilers if you have not watched the recent episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. Turns out Skye was, in fact, as we were predicting, Quake, aka Daisy Johnson. And Mr. Hyde, of course, was also in there. Her father was also revealed to be Mr. Hyde. But the one thing, the one nerdgastic thing about the whole episode, we finally got to see what the heck the obelisk was. Of course, I had my suspicions. Obviously, they did not tell you it was a container, but at first I thought maybe it's a Terrigen bomb or something like that. But since they were talking about the transformations and stuff, I was just saying, basically, old San Juan turned out to be a beacon or a hub post for the Inhumans to undergo Terrigenesis like in the comic books. Obviously, it's no Atalan, but I'll take it, But yes, the obelisk contained the Terrigen crystals, which is just amazing. I love what they're doing with this show. You saw the cocoon, you saw the mist, and you saw everything, and the transformation. I think it's fun, since Quake is a mutant, that she technically debuted in a Marvel comic outside of the X-Men world. You can sort of use her on the cinematic universe and the TV shows. So I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do with the character. Hopefully she won't just remain on the TV show. When you go ahead and bring the Inhumans movie, maybe she can be that character that wants to find out more about her heritage now that she finds out that she is an Inhuman. I'd love that twist. If you cannot have the mutants on the cinematic universe, I'm all up for it. I'm a huge nerd for everything Inhumans. You should be reading all their titles. It's just an amazing group of misfits in the Marvel world. One of the other things that I really liked about all the DC and Marvel stuff in the TV world, of course, Flash. We finally saw Reverse Flash, and we called it since the first episode. I'll let you go ahead and watch it, but let's just say Reverse Flash kicked an insane amount of ass. And same with Arrow. Ra's al Ghul versus Green Arrow, that's some awesome material. It's just an awesome time to be a comic book fan and watch these shows on TV. You get 22 episodes of your favorite superhero just week after week. Same with comic books. I think it should be the way of the future. Don't get me wrong, movies are awesome, and they will forever be the holy place for DC and Disney to try out all their stuff, Marvel and DC. But is there something about watching it on TV that's just so cool and just nerdy about it, that it's a really special time about this whole thing. But speaking of superhero-ness, Teen Titans is also getting that pilot. We talked about it a couple months ago. There were rumors that there was going to be a Teen Titans series in development for TNT, and yes, we can now confirm that it is true. Teen Titans will debut on TNT next year. The pilot will shoot early next year, or maybe in summer. We don't know yet, but we do know that Nightwing's going to be in the series. A couple of questions though. If Nightwing's in the series, obviously you're going to do the Titans series from the 90s, where the older team, and you have the Teen Titans with doing their own thing with Tim Drake and all that stuff. But the Titans team with an older Raven, Beast Boy, and all that stuff, are they going to show Cyborg? Because here's the thing, I know the TV universe is a separate thing, but do you want to show Cyborg in advance of Batman vs. Superman, where supposedly Ray Fisher's going to be in it, as a pre-Cyborg thing? But I think I have my suspicions that maybe we won't see Cyborg in the show. At least the characters that should show up would be Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, and Nightwing. I really don't know that Wally West will be there because you have the Flash TV series. I don't know if they're... I don't think they're going to cross over because TNT is on a separate channel from the whole Warner Brothers thing. But hopefully with Supergirl joining CBS and talks about this epic crossover between the three series, in my mind, aside from Gotham, which has been aside from Gotham, I see the TV universe as this one huge entity, and I don't care that they'll never cross over. To me, they're in the same place. So hopefully it can be done, or at least some references here and there of Star City and Central City. That'd be pretty awesome. Hopefully the show takes place in Coast City, by the way, and so we have all the famous cities covered. But yes, the Teen Titans. Other than that, I'm really looking forward to seeing iZombie and stuff like Agent Carter. Should be fun. Thank God Agent Carter is a limited series. I really don't see this as a full-on 22-episode series. But it's going to be interesting. I like where it's going, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U came out. I don't have a Wii U. I have friends that do. It looks amazing. It's obviously far superior than the 3DS version. But hey, I have the 3DS version, and I'm okay with it. It's nice to have it on your portable gaming thing, and just take it out everywhere and just fight it out on the internet, wherever you are, right now, for all I care. But yes, I really don't like the idea of getting Mewtwo by buying the two versions. I've never been a fan of buying multiple versions of a game. The only exception would be The Legend of Zelda, which Ocarina of Time, I have it for the 64, the GameCube, and the 3DS. So, same with Wind Waker on the GameCube and now on the Wii U. I'm close to getting a Wii U because, hey, guess what? The new Legend of Zelda gameplay trailer was amazing. It looks beautiful, and I said this since day one. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting a Wii U until Zelda comes out. That's my favorite gaming franchise. I love all the Zelda games, and yeah, looks like I'm getting a Wii U. I'll talk about that at a later episode when I do get it. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, an excellent gift for the holidays, in my opinion. It looks pretty awesome, and eventually I think maybe I can double dip. I'm not a fan of it, but I'll try and double dip and play as it was intended with the Wii U and Smash Bros. Other things in the gaming world, Street Fighter V has finally been announced, and I'm not a huge fan of exclusive titles. I enjoy that there's one or two that are exclusive to each console, but the idea that to me, it's just alienating the fan base, and obviously Xbox owners are going to be pissed off because they were Street Fighter fans on the Xbox. I've never been a huge fighting game fan. I'm more into the adventure and the open worlds and the hack and slash and all that stuff. But I could check it out for the PlayStation 4 and see how that goes. Hopefully they change their mind, just like with the Tomb Raider thing, and it comes out for for the other platforms or later on. That would be pretty cool to see. And finally, after so much begging, and just like with Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby and Pokemon, we finally have that epic announcement, and I missed that through the weeks that we were off. Majora's Mask on the 3DS. It's finally coming out, and people should be excited. I don't know why there's so much hate for the graphics and all that stuff. It's bringing it back for a new generation. If you want a complete overhaul, you should have just asked for a completely brand new mobile Zelda game on your 3DS. This is just a reimagining, I guess, or in layman's terms, this should just be a remastered edition. It's not supposed to be this great graphical improvement. I'm okay with it. Other stuff that I really wanted to mention. What else am I missing? The Fantastic Four movie. Part of me, as a huge F4 nerd, I really wanted to do well, but at the same time I wanted for it to fail, so Marvel could acquire it. I'm at a crossroads. I know, fans. I know it's gonna suck. It's not looking that good. Hopefully, this won't be the case, and next summer I will be blown away by it. I want to like that movie, even with all the hiccups, with the weird Ultimate-esque twist they're doing to it, even with the whole Domashev thing with Doctor Doom, which is just blech. I want to give it a shot. It's one of my favorite teams in comic books. You know, the inner fanboy in me wants to see a proper, fun, and serious, and badass, and epic, and just good, hearty Fantastic Four movie, which I really think we're not going to get. But I will sacrifice myself. I will watch that, and I will critique it whenever it comes out next year. So, aside from all of that, I'm going to keep this episode brief and just talk a little bit about all the stuff that I want to recommend for you that you should get for the holidays that I've gotten quickly. You should be reading Spider-Verse. I have the little ad thing here. It's an excellent spider story. One of the best, really, since a long time, since Big Time, I think. Other than that, we are bringing the Naruto Shippuden discussion real soon. We did a discussion for the first part of the series with Brian and myself, just geeking out over the first series. And hopefully you guys will see it. And we'll talk some more about it. But as for stuff I recommend for the holidays, stuff in our hiatus, here's what we bought that I think you guys are going to like. For the Nintendo 3DS, of course, I got Alpha Sapphire for Nintendo. I had never played the Owen region. I've played every other region. This was the one where when this came out in 2003, was it? I was not playing Pokemon. I had abandoned the franchise, and I had no clue this game had come out. I played like an emulator back in the day, and just like the first gym or something, that was it. But other than that, this was a completely brand new experience for me. And let's face it, folks, if your region is a huge island with an archipelago and all that stuff, yeah, there's going to be a lot of water in it. So quit your complaining and bitching. Certain websites. Aside from the 3DS stuff, on the PS4, I bought 2 games that I've not finished yet because I've been devoted to Alpha Sapphire, but of course I will recommend the infamous glitchy Assassin's Creed Unity. So far I've not encountered that many glitches, just a few random bugs here and there, but the story's pretty awesome, and Paris looks amazingly detailed. I love traversing the towns in the Assassin's Creed franchise. That's sort of my thing. One of the other games, of course, Dragon Age Inquisition. If you've not played it, it's okay. Go ahead, pick it up. You will live and breathe this world, and Ferelden and all that stuff. And my elf looks weird as hell, but whatever. I like it either way. It's just a fun game. Now, movie-wise, there's no better gift, of course, than one of the best Marvel movies ever. Guardians of the Galaxy, finally on Blu-ray. You should definitely pick this gem up and enjoy it. I actually could not get the sleeves for Walmart exclusive versions. That sucked. Everybody took them before I got there. And next up, if you're itching for some manga-ishness, if that's even a word, I highly recommend. This is a new read for me. If you like your noir and your mystery and your well-written stories, then I highly suggest the retelling of Astro Boy, the greatest robot on Earth. This new vision, well, it's old, but to me it's neat, by Naoki Urasawa, and of course the legendary Osamu Tezuka. I am of course recommending, as for the manga pick of the year, you should check out Pluto. It's amazing. I got the first volume, I'm reading through it, it's just an amazing story, and really, I was a huge fan of Monster from Urasawa, and I had not checked this out. It's just amazing, folks. Pluto. And as for comic books, I've been reading a lot of old stuff. I would recommend to you guys some new stuff, but yeah, I'm going back with the classics. I'm reading an obscure trade and by that I mean not a lot of people cared for this, I think. Of course, my favorite DC hero, I've been getting into all the old school Aquaman stuff, and if I had to recommend something, it would be give or take, volume 4, volume 6. It all depends if you count the miniseries as actual volumes. But yes, the 2003 series, which was followed by Sword of Atlantis. This one, of course, Arthur's back after supposedly dying off in the Obsidian Age on JLA. And it's a shame that we only have like this one trade. I'm trying to get the singles and read, all the Sub Diego stuff and all those arcs. And so far, I'm really liking it. It's a fun twist. It's a fun take on Aquaman, of course, with the infamous water hand. And last but not least, for my hardcover collection, I bring you a classic, and by that I mean I really loved it, but I hate the ending. Brightest Day, Volume 1. I recently got this bad boy. I love this storyline. However, I was so pissed off by the ending simply because we never got any answers back. We never had a resolution. We never had anything. Yes, we do get all these characters back. And soon after this, the Flashpoint event was announced and the New 52. And basically we were left with a lot of answers and no real resolutions. I'm sorry. I just think they should have just continued this and waited a little while to bring back the New 52 or whatever the hell they were going to do. It's still an amazing story. The art is fantastic. And the stuff they were doing with Aquaman really, before the New 52 took off with Aquaman and everybody liking him now, Jeff Johns did some amazing work on the character here. So that's one of my reasons for getting it. So hopefully one day we'll see the conclusion to it. I doubt it, but you never know. Maybe with Convergence, they can bring back the old DCU and explain to me what happened with the elementals and all that stuff. But, that's basically my holiday buying guide for you guys. I did get some Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy figurines. Those were pretty awesome. They're up there on my shelf with Star-Lord and Nova and all these guys. So, what a year it's been. We're going to do some more episodes before the year ends, but I think this is the last We Can Geek Them episode of 2014. I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, for tuning in, for liking, favoriting, and tweeting, and following, or whatever you guys do. Thank you so much for giving us a shot. We don't really have that huge budget to make an all-star caliber thing like I would have wanted to, but hey, I am having a blast talking to you and just ranting about stuff, and hopefully you get entertained as well, and I would be glad to hear some of your thoughts. Write to us, leave your comments, suggestions, and such down below. Comment on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, yada yada. If you got a question, you can write to our email. That's at wecangeekdem@gmail.com. And we have some very interesting projects which I will be posting about very soon, so stay tuned for that. That's it for now, folks. Thank you so much. As always, I keep updating with all the news items on our social media pages. So thank you. We will have another episode soon, but it won't strictly be this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see all of you at a later episode. Thank you for watching.